Okay, Mayor, we are live and recording.
Okay, we'll call this council regular session to order Wednesday, April 21st. Time is 7:02 p.m. Please allow me to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so with that, we'll open it up for visitor comments. If you'd like to make a comment, please go ahead and raise your hand and we'll acknowledge you and allow you to make a comment. Keep your comments to 5 minutes, please, or less. Give it just a second here. I'm not seeing any.
We have a couple of people still coming in that might want to. If you're here for visitor comments, please raise your hand or shoot me a message in the chat.
I'm fine. Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, this is Brady with Freeheim.
Go ahead, Brady.
So my comment would be, I was yesterday I said I supported giving the a redacted report to Steve Topaz. And since then, I actually had contact from a few city personnel who told me that when you begin the investigation, they were assured that the information would be remain confidential. So you already have a history of not protecting your city employees. You certainly cannot do it again by violating their trust and telling them that the information you get is going to be confidential and then not have it be confidential. So you can give him an executive summary that then needs to be distributed to every person that was interviewed, and so that they can verify that their anonymity is in fact complete and that you keep your word. If they are willing to let you use their documentation or what they provided, then that's fine, that's their choice if they want to waive that. But if they don't, you certainly cannot lie to them and tell them that you are now going to violate your promise of keeping their information confidential. Secondly, as I stated yesterday, I had an opportunity to listen on YouTube to part of the tirade of Councilor Topaz. And as I said, in regards to impeachment of Donald Trump, he has already been emboldened. Your failure to take action against him just shows that, yes, you are all buying a ticket on Crazy Train and he is dragging you along with him, which of course is his goal. I also think that based upon what I was hearing, that the one option you have to remove him from office is mentally incompetent or incompetent, and I think you need to order that. And you don't let him have 8, 9 tries and 6 months of delay. You tell him you must have a mental health evaluation by May 15th, and that is the day. And if you don't have that mental health evaluation by May 15th, then we are going to declare that as mentally incompetent and we will remove you from your position. And you need to, because he delayed. We know about the Steve Shuffle and know that he has delayed time and time again. The audio from yesterday was very hard to hear. So there were parts of the meeting I couldn't hear at all. But I did hear the part where the attorney said that we tried to connect multiple times and he would have been given the opportunity to review this report in a redacted format and didn't take advantage of that. But yet then you gave him more time. And to me, those kinds of delays are unacceptable. You need to protect your employees. You need to protect the city. You need to order a mental health evaluation for him. And then depending on that, regardless of how that turns out, you need to take action to censor him so that he is not able to continue to be the disruption to the city, which is his goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Brady Preheim. Other visitor comments? Not seeing any?
I do not see any or anything in the chat, Mayor.
Okay. So our next item on our agenda is to announce the award prize for If I Were Mayor Student Contestants winners. And if the contestants would like to go ahead and unmute themselves and put their video on, that would be great.
Mayor, you may have to give us a second.
Yep, that's all right. I will. We got time.
Hi, guys.
Hi there. Let's see, Olivia is getting ready to come on.
Kathy or Lisa, can you help me tell me who needs to be asked to turn on their video? Because I just see names and I don't know who's who.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
I need my video allowed. Sebastian Bean.
Sebastian. Hang on a second.
Jen Fantis.
Back up, Maddie.
Okay. Am I missing anybody, Lisa?
No, it looks like that's it.
Okay.
Unless somebody has a different name that I'm not aware of.
If you need your video started, please send me a chat. Okay, Mayor, I think we have everyone.
Okay, so I see 5 participants here, and I think that is right because I think somebody wasn't going to be available. So I see an empty owner box there, and so I don't know. Okay, so again, thank you for your posters and your essays and your digital presentations. They were wonderful, very insightful. You can see the whole entire council is smiling because we really like reviewing those and hearing your ideas. And it is very inspiring to us to know that you guys are thinking civic minded. It's a tough job, but it's a necessary job. And so with that, so here's how this is going to work. So I know that Sebastian Bean and Anna Richardson's were part of both submitted a poster. And then Olivia Fantis and Addison Wells both wrote an essay. And then Hayden Strom and Caitlin Wells both did a digital presentation. And so what we've done is we've actually this year, because we're virtual, Lisa delivered boxes to you. And so what I'm told here is that the blue balloon will be if you are first place and $150 winner. And a red balloon will be second place and a $50 winner. And then at a later date, we will have lunch together. So now would be the time to go ahead and open up your boxes and see where you placed. Hey, I feel blue balloon. Boy, she must have taped them up pretty good. I see a red balloon.
2 reds.
Red balloon.
3 reds.
3 reds and all right.
You're on the city council.
So congratulations to Addison Richards, is our first place poster winner, and Sebastian Bean is our second place poster winner. In our essays, first place would be Addison Wells, 7th grade, St. Helens Middle School. Oh, and I also want to acknowledge that Anna Richardson is in 5th grade, homeschooled, and that Sebastian Bean is in 4th grade and goes to Yankton Arthur Academy. Again, Addison Wells, first place winner, essay, goes to St. Helens Middle School. And then we have second place, Olivia Fantis, who has been constant for years and years and years. Olivia, you are remarkable that you continue to do this. Is our second place winner, and she is in 6th grade and homeschooled. Our first place digital presentation was Hayden Stram, and he's in 9th grade, homeschooled, and was unable to attend. And then our second place presentation, digital presentation, was Caitlin Wells, 9th grade in St. Helens High School. So congratulations, counselors. Would you like to congratulate our young civic-minded students?
Is
Congrats,
clapping help?
guys. I just wanted to say I loved all the stuff about parks and reading. Those are two of my favorite things. So I loved it. Great job.
All the way through was just a great read, a great visuals, and really good efforts by all of you. Very good job.
Going to school a long time ago, I never wrote anything as well as I read there today. So you did a good job.
I'm a teacher, and I would have to say that if you were had been submitting these projects for a grade in my classroom, I know I'm sure you're all familiar with the grading system. I would have given you an E for exceeding the standards, or an A in the. Yeah, very good work. I was very impressed by the thoughtfulness and effort that each of you put into this. So thank you and congratulations.
Okay,
And
and
thanks
so
to all of your parents too for helping you guys.
Yeah.
So, and I just want a little fun fact here is that everybody got at least 2 votes. It was that close of a competition. You all did wonderful. I also want to let you know that for your first place winners, that you will be entered automatically into the state competition. And we did have a second place 2 years ago. I do believe it was 2 years ago. May have been 3, but I think it was 2. And was able to represent the city. And I think she got a tablet or something like that. So for your poster, Anna Richardson, you'll get it back a ways down the road, because that actually travels to, if we are going to be able to be in person, we'll travel to where mayors can actually visibly see it and read your essays and your digital presentation. So again, congratulations, and we will set a date that works for everybody for having lunch. Okay. Yes. All right. We're going to get back on with our business now. That was very fun. Thank you very much. Okay. Ordinance, final reading. Ordinance number 3261, an ordinance vacating a portion of South 2nd Street right-of-way.
Do you want a motion to accept that?
Yes, I do.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 3261.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance 3261. Council President Morton.
Aye.
Councilor Topaz.
Aye.
Councilor Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Ordinance number 3262, an ordinance to annex and designate the zone of certain property at 35526 Furway Lane.
Make a motion, we accept ordinance number 3262 as read.
Second, ordinance 3262 as read.
Okay, Motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance 3262. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Aye.
and Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Ordinance number 3263, an ordinance to annex and designate the zone of certain property at 58830 Furlock Park Street.
I move we accept ordinance 3263 as read.
Second, 3263 as read.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance 3263. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, ordinance first reading, ordinance number 3264, an ordinance amending the St. Helens Municipal Code chapters. And you're gonna have to bear with me on this, and I better grab my glasses, okay? Chapters would be 17.16, 17.24, 17.32, 17.40, 17.56, 17.64, 17.68, 17.72, 17.80, 17.84, 17.88, 17.192, 17.96, 17.100, 17.104, 17.108, 17.124, 17.132, 17.136, 17.152, and 1920, and deleting chapter 17.128, focusing on duplex housing to comply with Oregon House Bill 2001 and other matters. Wow, that was a lot. Okay. Kind of dizzy reading that. All right, resolution number 1914, a resolution authorizing and designating agent for the application to the State of Oregon Office of Emergency Management for the purpose of obtaining financial assistance through hazardous mitigation grant program.
Do you need a motion on that?
I do.
I will make a motion to accept resolution 1914.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution 1914. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Oh, Councilor Berkeley, I
Aye.
apologize. All right, I'm still thinking about all the numbers I had to read. It was crazy. All right, approve and authorize for signature, extension of agreement with Columbia Pacific Economic Development District for grant administrative services for the Columbia Pacific Food Bank Project and 7 contract payments.
I move we approve and authorize for signature items 6 and 7 as read.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve and authorize for signatures 6 and 7. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, who do we have for appointments to city boards and commissions? I didn't pay attention to that. What do we got?
The library board has selected a Jessica Sturdivant to fill in for one of our leaving members. The board recommends her acceptance. I recommend the council accept her and appoint her on the board.
Okay, what was the last name again?
Sturdivant, Sturdivant. Sturdivant.
Sturdivant. Okay,
I second Councilor Topaz's motion.
okay. So motion's been made and seconded to appoint Jessica Sturdivant to the library board. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, any other?
Yes, there's one more.
Okay.
The Parks and Trails Commission recommended appointment of Brandon Sundin.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
Oh, well. I motion
I'll second
that,
it.
Hold on, he's got a motion at first.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
got a motion at first, Steve.
I motion that we accept Brandon Sundin to the appointment to the Parks Commission for his allotted term.
I second it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Perfect timing, right?
Yes, no.
No, I did
So-
it's the appropriate time right after a
Yeah.
second to question anything.
Right. Okay. So I thought the appointments to committees was changing, or was that just for the budget committee?
Budget.
Only budget?
The
Yeah, only
Parks,
budget.
the
Yeah.
Parks and Trails Commission, Library Board, and everything already go through an interview process to select someone. It was just the budget committee that was originally used to be appointed by just that individual counselor, and it was changed to do an interview process for all commissions. So the budget committee is now starting to follow all the other commissions.
Okay.
Yep.
Jessica, I do believe that the Parks Commission interviewed 4 individuals for this spot.
Okay. It's good to know. I was just curious because I was like, didn't we just change that? So that makes sense.
Thank you for asking though, rather than
Yeah.
just, yes. Okay, so a motion's been made and seconded to approve Brennan Sundin for the Parks and Trails Commission. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Hi.
Councilor Berkeley. Yeah, I seen him word eye, I seen him mouth eye, right, Councilor Berkeley?
Aye.
Okay.
Open
And
up
I'm
and
an
say
aye as
aye.
well. And I'm an aye as well. Okay. Consent agenda for acceptance. 9 library board minutes dated March 8, 2018. And 10 Parks and Trails Commission minutes dated March 8, 2021. I said 2019. I apologize. Library and board minutes. Let me reread this. Number 8, library and board minutes dated March 8, 2021. And number 10, Parks and Trails Commission minutes dated March 8, 2021.
I move we accept consent agenda item number 9 and 10 as read.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda 9 and 10. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Hi.
Councilor Berkeley,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, consent agenda for approval. Council executive session minutes dated March 31st, 2021, and council work session, executive session, public hearing, and regular session minutes dated April 7th, 2021. And 12, amendment associated planner, community development, project manager, job description. And 13, accounts payable bill list.
I move we approve consent agenda items number 11, 12, and 13 as read.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda 11, 12, and 13. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, we had some work session items, and I think we had 2. We have 2?
I have one that Matt somewhat gave a rundown on. So, and that was with the dealing with the botanical parks. So he separated it into 2 areas, and I would like to go with one of those areas.
Just to clarify, President Morton, that was during executive session, and I was not asking for any decision at this time. It was just, I was informing you of what we were looking at.
Got
So
it.
I'm not sure if there is a actual discussion item at this time that needed to be decided on.
Okay, I would like to bring one forth because it was a recommendation from the Parks Commission to the council,
Okay.
to me, to bring it to the council as an action item.
Okay. Could you, well, if anything like that comes up in your commission, you can just bring it up in your report too in this evening session.
Oh,
Okay.
sure, that's fine. I didn't want to lose track of it. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what were the two things we had from, do we have two or one? I thought we had two.
There are two technically. We didn't get an opportunity at the work session to talk about strategic plan updates and the city administrative report.
Yeah.
Are you okay if I talk about strategic plan updates? Because there is a
yes.
decision that
Yeah,
I would have liked to put on for tonight.
Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. On the strategic plan update, I wanted to bring up to the council something that we've been talking internally. Yesterday, obviously, was our first in-person meeting that we had in a long time, and we had some issues with the audio. It worked, although not very well, because of the mic issues. And I think we have, between myself and Darren, we have figured out what the solution was for that for future meetings in person. However, it does not change the effect that we are still having issues with Comcast and the issues of uploading our Zoom videos to there with audio files that are separated from the video files. And Lisa, I'm sure, could give a more detailed if she's still on. I'm not sure if she is. But I wanted to approach the discussion as we talked about in the franchise agreement regarding use of the PEG channels, the channel 27, and how it is from our city survey that we've done and all the data that we've collected that we can to show that it's not really being utilized, if very little at all. But I wanted to approach the subject if the council was open to not streaming to Comcast or uploading videos in the future. That simplifies things in our council chambers drastically. But it is a change from what has been done, obviously, for the foreseeable history. So videos would still be uploaded to YouTube like they are now, with the links on our website like they are now. We would just stop uploading videos to the PEG channel on channel 27. And if that is a appropriate action, then we can move forward with some easy changes in the council chambers. And whenever we are ready to go back to in-person meetings, we will be ready to go. Whereas if you want to continue streaming to Comcast and uploading videos, it's a little more complicated, and I guarantee you we will still have audio issues on that channel like we do now.
Yeah, I think it was, actually it's channel 29. You have me all confused. Yes. I just had to change my cable TV because right now it is showing upcoming programs. I don't know how many people. I don't know how many people.
Lisa has been, from my understanding, and I see Kathy here, maybe she can chime in on the current practice. My understanding right now is that Kathy is still trying to upload the Zoom videos, but we have to format them differently and upload audio files separately from the video files. And it's very cumbersome and tedious, and we're not sure what the benefit is as far as the outreach that we're getting as a public engagement with our community, with the results of our community survey that we did, along with the franchise agreements, that we know that the channel is available to us, but we don't have to use it, is my understanding from the franchise agreement and the discussions with our attorneys.
So we'd never lose it. We could always go back to it.
Correct. So what I might suggest is maybe we cease using it for some time. And if you hear from your constituents, or if we hear from the public as a city that we're not doing anything or they can't watch it on channel, then we can revisit going back in the future. So it's never a lost cause, so to speak, if you want to go back to Comcast.
Sure.
So nothing is live on the channel 29. It's just uploaded video.
Yes, since we went to lockdown and COVID restrictions, and we've been doing Zoom meetings, nothing has been live on the Comcast channel.
And okay, and there is no way. I mean, I know we did the surveys and things, but there's no way we can check or have any information whether or not anybody has in fact been accessing that.
From our channels at Comcast, they do not keep any data or do not want to share any data of how many viewers we actually get. So the only data we have is from the city survey that was done just a couple years ago that indicated that the channel was the least public engagement and got the lowest rating. I want to say it was like 3 or 7% of the population that actually knew about the channel.
My one concern about stopping it and then seeing if people react, rather than maybe putting it out there announcing that we are giving this some consideration, is the fact of some of the pushback we had just by trying to shift from Facebook to YouTube, and the perception being, which was not a true, did not reflect reality, that we were trying to keep people, from accessing our meetings. That's the only hesitation I would have, that instead of cutting it off and then seeing if people react, asking for it back, that if we're able to go, I don't know, a week or two, put something out there saying we're planning to take this step in the next couple of weeks and see if anybody reacts. That would be my only concern.
That could be an option too, with Crystal and our communications team putting something together.
Well, and we can, if we shut it off and we do have a big reaction, we can go back. It's the audio, which apparently the audio is the issue that we've always had with this. Always. The only person they can ever hear what they say is me. And I guess I'm pretty loud.
I should mention too that even still, the box that we use to upload our videos is called a electronics box, and that was a $4,000 or $5,000 piece of equipment that sits in an IT rack in our back room, and it worked for, I want to say, a few months. And this was when we did the entire upgrade, and we got a new box, and we used the PEG funds to help finance that process, and it broke down, and it is still broke to this day. And I don't know what the time frame is for us to get that back. Not that we're in a rush, because we're not doing in-person meetings, so it's other things have taken priority over trying to get the electronics box working and fixed. But short of having a full production studio to fix the audio issues, which I don't think the city council is interested in investing in a TV studio, I am at a loss for what options we have as a city for improving the audio that Comcast users see on their end.
We will always have that channel.
That is my understanding from the franchise agreement.
So we could allow other entities to use that channel if we so chose to for public engagement in the future.
That is my understanding.
Okay.
I don't think that it hurts to put something out there, kind of like a disclaimer, hey, we're doing this until our next council meeting, because the work is only being done during a council session, right?
Do you mean the work as in streaming and uploading?
Yes, for that channel. It's being done after the session, I'm guessing, since it's a video you're uploading.
Yes, correct. It's usually uploaded, or used to be uploaded the next day to Comcast, and Lisa is the one who actually does all the programming and the scheduling of what shows when and everything like that.
Well,
So maybe if we just throw something, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, pardon me for interrupting, but I was just going to say the benefit to that is that it continues to repeat and repeat and repeat for what, a couple months. And our committee and commission meetings are all on that, and they continue to repeat, as well as other kinds of things we want to upload on it. That's the beauty of having that channel. Not only just our live our live meetings, but the whole idea that those will be repeated and they are on a menu. So I always like that option. And basically I utilize the Comcast that way to review library board, go back over parks meetings occasionally. And it was, I think it was very functional for me and very useful. So I could see, I hate to discard that at all. And I can see as some time in the future possibly coming back to it.
One option I can throw out too with meetings that are recorded on Zoom, there is always a record and a link to the YouTube video of the meeting on our website. Okay. And even if we were to stop streaming the meetings themselves, we could still put graphical information on that to direct people to the website and the meetings and where to go. In addition to other public engagement, poster, graphic things that Crystal and her communications team can kind of come up with.
Oh, good.
So that is still a possibility that we could still use it, but it just wouldn't be used for streaming or watching the meetings.
I like that idea.
What if we gave local musician and artist an opportunity to have 15 minutes with commercials that in between that shared our info as far as city website and stuff like that?
Rabbit hole. Come back to us, Mr. Mayor.
I do not want to be part of that committee to screen everything that gets submitted for.
Just so you know that we have Matt as a musician and Jacob Reichen as a musician. And do we have anybody else who's a musician?
Oh, we have a full band here at the city.
I know we have. We've
got drummers and guitarists at the police.
That's right.
Our IT person Darren plays bass, and
yes,
we could put together a full band.
That's right. Corporal King and no, he played in the band for a long time. He was off here 2 years ago. Jamin Coy.
Coy. Yeah.
Yes. Anyhow, I got way off sidetrack. So Matt, I think we hear what you're saying, that it's frustrating. The audio is also affecting our streaming, but you have a fix for that.
We believe we figured out this issue this morning after the meeting, of course. I still need to do some actual rigorous testing of doing actual Zoom meetings with staff to ensure that it's going to work the next time we do an in-person meeting. So after that, but we do believe we have the issue figured out.
It was very nice to be back in person, and I feel like was definitely doable with the way we ran our meeting last night. So
yeah, it was a good space out, and I think that gave us, Kathy and John, myself, an opportunity to see how the spacing would work, to see how public comment would work if we had people coming in one or two at a time to share those comments in person, that kind of thing. So it was a good test run yesterday, even though some of the audio was not received well.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So okay. I guess I would be looking from a direction to the council to move forward in what I suggested, or if you want to remain the same.
Well, I would like to move forward with getting the audio fixed for our council chambers, and if we can definitely still put stuff onto our channel anytime, what information we want, we can allow to go on there. So we're not giving up the channel, and we're going to direct people to the links. And if people say, I don't like it, we'll go back.
Can we also put some public info out there, just letting people know that this is happening?
Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion.
Cool.
And this has been a fight for a long time. This audio on channel 29 has been a fight for a long time.
as long as I've been here, which is going to be 5 years in June.
So moved as a mayor's suggestion, along with Jessica. Just make a motion for their suggestions to go forward.
Second.
Okay, so Council President Morton,
Aye.
Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Aye.
Council Berkeley,
No.
no, okay, and I'm an aye as well.
The next item on the agenda was the Millard Road RFP. This was the discussion that John
Oh, yeah.
discussed, and this would be moving forward with the RFP process that was included in your work session packet.
So John, just a little recap on that. So the RFP, and there was a lot of work that the city had already done as far as moving forward. Just go ahead and recap on that real fast for the rest. The entire council.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, this is a request for the council to go out for a request for proposals for the Millard property on Millard Road. And it's not a traditional sale, it's an attempt to do a public-private partnership to get some projects proposed to the city to understand what a developer might do, the uses they might have, and how they might go about it, and meet those community objectives as far as transportation connections, connectivity, the utility extensions, and the like. And it's an information packet. It's fairly detailed. It has some marketing information, talks about the kinds of things the developer would be interested in as far as the status of St. Helens as a community, how the market compares with the region, and just general growth trends around the community and things. So it also details a selection criteria and process for once we get these proposals, how we're going to review and score them and come back to you. And it's about June, mid-June, sometimes when we'd be looking at the first round of proposals.
And we would be in that review process. Of
You'd be in the
course.
review process, and you could, select one, you could reject all, you could work with a couple. There's a lot of opportunities there.
Well, I think any other discussion, any questions from counselors on this? Okay, if somebody wanted to so kindly as make it an action item to do an RFP for the Millard, have staff put out the RFP for Millard Road.
I'll motion that as stated.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to allow staff to put out the RFP for Millard Road as proposed. Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. And then the other one I think was fireworks, Matt.
That is correct.
Fireworks. Okay. And again, just the discussion that, the fireworks, we were talking earlier and we knew we needed I wanted to make an official action item if we are not going to have anything to do with the 4th of July fireworks, but we were talking about what can we do to support it earlier. So I'd like to further that discussion just a little bit and then, make it also an action item that we are turning this over to any nonprofit that wants it. I know that the city, myself, my feeling is that I would not just drop it. I would try to support it best we could. Can't completely give, we would allow if they needed the shuttle, I imagine. Past years, the city would help with some insurances, but if you're hiring a pyrotech, they already have the insurances. We know that shoot costs 20 grand to shoot over there. It's been 15 to 18 for last 25 years. I don't know. I mean, and maybe we could support it with a $2,000 donation. That's pretty good compared to a lot of other, just kind of that's our contribution from here on out. If somebody wanted to take it over, and it wouldn't be unless the shoot's happening that we're giving you that $2 grand. We're not just giving that to any old nonprofit. this is for a fireworks shoot.
I'd be
That's-
careful. I'd be careful of putting a attached amount at this time, but we can always talk about what the amount can be if it's requested from the group that is actually taking the project on. So I'm not certain about 2,000. They might want to ask for 1,000. They might want to ask for 2,500. So I don't know if it would be. I can see what you're suggesting, Mayor,
Yeah.
and I do agree with about that amount. But I just rather say that that we can help out, and I'd really like to word it that we can help out and give support in the best way we can.
Yeah, I would hope that whatever organization takes it on would structure it in such a way that perhaps there would be levels of sponsorship, so that so that if you have your platinum, gold, silver, bronze, that they would set those figures, and that the city would, like any other sponsor, agree to sponsor at a particular level that we could look at. So I'm hoping that whatever organization would structure in that way. So yeah, yes, we are not, Mayor, you're correct. We are not abandoning the fireworks in the terms of that we are not going to provide any support for it in terms of our promotion of it, and potential some financial support, but that it is that our participation is as a sponsor, not as the owner, leader, director of the event.
Hey, just so this isn't being, I just want to make clarification, and then we'll further this discussion. But I just want for people that are watching to understand that the city did not originally have this. It was a nonprofit that was run by a number of people. An uncle of mine actually happened to be the head pyro in charge. Okay, Ed Lockett. So what I
All
can
in the
say
family.
though, what I can say about that is that what happened is about 8 years ago that there was some insurance discrepancies. That's all I can say. Okay, between the city was going to cover it or not cover it. And the thing that's really mixed up about this situation is that there was a counselor that was involved with the foundation at the time as well. And the foundation said, we got the insurances, and that was Keith Locke, and this is exactly how it happened. And what happened is the foundation had the insurances, so they basically got it that next year because all of a sudden the nonprofit didn't have the insurances that they thought they were promised. So it did go to the foundation. It sat in the foundation and was run underneath the foundation for a number of years. Actually, the 1 year it was missed was a couple of years later under the foundation, not under the private, under the foundation. Okay. So what happened, this is the true history of the fireworks too. And I'm going to put it together a committee. So what happened then is the foundation went into the hole. And so the city grabbed 13 nights because they seen it. It was and that was their main function was 13 nights. That is very city, all about city. That's what we see. And we did not want to see that go away. Correct, Council President Morton?
Yes.
And so we were in the process. We already had a tourism director. We jumbled all that into the tourism director. If fireworks was not part of it, we kept it separate. But when the fireworks question came up, it was like, okay, now what do we do? So we actually threw it into tourism. That's how it became adopted to the city for 3 years. That's it, 3. And we are doing a fireworks show. So this is not a discussion that we're not doing a fireworks show this year. That is not the discussion here. We are trying to set somebody up perfectly and to be funded to have their stuff in order and start raising funds now for next year's. That's why we're discussing this. We're not setting anybody up for failure. We're trying to really help them out. So if you are a nonprofit or sound like, you know a nonprofit or want to get involved, please feel free to reach out and email us, and we'll try to give you the most info we can as far as who we talk to as far as ordering the fireworks, and what money it takes. And a lot of times the pyrotechs can address the fire marshals and stuff like that, but we do have that. We can help facilitate and at least link you up with those type of people if you need be. So I just want to make it clear that the city never really had this in the first place. It acquired it through the foundation.
Yeah, we need to
Mayor-
put out a communication that represents exactly what you said, because we can't rely on just this communication here off of our virtual meeting. So we need to put out communication in a sense that way.
Exactly right, and that's what the meeting is about. And before I have that meeting with the old committee, because we wanted to tell that story of exactly what went down. They have history, they have the bylaws, they have all these news articles, they have all the members that were dead, now some dead and some still alive. So yeah, just tell that story. Exactly, Doug. So we're going to get together with Crystal, and you guys already approved that, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't perceived that we're just throwing this away and it was just my decision, or I wanted to make it an action item. So we are together and we are going to continue to support it and just say, no, that was, to this day, you'll hear it was Keith Locke. I don't want to hear that about Rick Stoll.
Yeah.
I just
Mayor, I'm going to add a few more things to it. At one time, Shedco was helping, and I was mainly in charge of collecting money. In the same time period, we had 9/11, which screwed up a lot of the rules. I mean, it became very complicated from where it used to be. But one of the things that came out of collecting money for Shedco, there were people who could be part of the community, even only if it was a quarter deep, because they could throw it in the bucket at the different stores and so on. But what's happened since then is a lot of people now pay with a debit card. So they didn't have an extra quarter in their hand when they left the cash register. So if we ought to somehow tell who's ever going to take this over to try to get it so you could use your debit card as being part of the city's money collection. Because there was a bucket in your quarter or whatever, but with the debit card, with the extra rules that came in, a whole lot of junk came in. But if we're going to have a 4th of July, we ought to kind of have them coordinate with whoever else is having 4th of July down in the waterfront. Because that will be another organization or organizations. So we ought to still make it a community thing and get as many community actors in the thing. The veterans like to have their hot dog burned down there, and there's just a number of things that happen 4th of July. We're to somehow have that coordinated with fireworks being its own facet. But we ought to, in the money collection business, sponsorships are good, but somehow be able to get your debit card into the loop.
Councilor Topez, we agree on one thing, that our nation's birthday is vitally important to us, and that it is about community. So, you're right. And I don't know what nonprofit would come up with that idea, but I'm sure they could find and talk to some type of bank that would take just a small fee to have those little, that's not up to us. What we're discussing here today is absolutely about turning this over to, if it's Main Street, which is a new name. If it's Main Street, so be it. If it's Chamber, maybe it's a church. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, the Oaks, the Chamber,
Yeah.
so many endeavors.
Yes. Yep. So, okay. So I just wanted to make it an action item that we are going to go ahead and got their approval. We're going through with the fireworks this year. The city is definitely not, if you're watching, is not This is about next year and trying to make it successful for whoever wants to take it over. But we can't, the city cannot really do it with taxpayers' money. And we've got a very good donator this year, which we'll be discussing later. But we just can't do it. It's not what we're supposed to do. So, but we will support it. We can support it a little bit, that's for sure. So I'm going to make a motion that we go ahead and move forward with the city pursuing to put out, like Doug said, some media that we are currently in the process of looking for somebody to take over the fireworks.
Second.
So, okay. So, Council President Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, we're going to go to John Walsh's report before we go on to our reports, okay?
Okay, Mayor, this is actually dovetails into an action item potentially here for you. So
Okay.
it came up today, kind of timely, and that is the discussion. I received an email from our city forester, Brent Keller, Mason, Bruce, and Gerard, about the prospectus for the timber sale that the council previously directed. He has those prospectus documents pretty well together. They're calling it the Smith timber sale. Should be ready within the next week, and it would go be advertised on the city's website and the other places that we typically advertise. And the sale would be the 2 units that we talked about, totaling 92 acres, containing roughly 2.7 million board feet. So the bid opening right now is proposed to be May 26 in advance of the June 2nd council meeting. So the sooner we can get council direction on that, that's something we've previously talked about, and
Yeah.
anticipate it would be controversial, but it does need your action. So
Yep.
Timber prices are very high now. Is that correct?
that is correct. Yep.
Yes.
So I would like to make a motion that we direct John Walsh to direct, oh gosh,
Mason Bruce Gerard.
Brent, yeah, Mason Gerard to go ahead with the advertisement of our timber cuts.
Perfect.
Second.
Okay, Councilor Morton,
Aye.
Councilor Topaz,
Aye.
Councilor Chilton,
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well. Okay, John, go ahead on with your report now.
Okay, I'll try to keep it fairly brief here. It's just been, as you're well aware, and you've been a part of a lot of the busyness lately, a number of meetings, and just a lot of action trying to get in front of some of this funds coming out of the federal government for our community projects here. And one of the things we talked about at the tourism meeting was, I think there was some constructive feedback there that, sense that events wasn't tourism. It wasn't in its entirety. That there's a lot of community partners and other activities that kind of build the village of tourism. And the state, and I wanted to share that the regional solution team is part of the governor's office, their Northwest region, and also our countywide tourism plan have a real strong emphasis on outdoor recreation, so that the camping, the paddling, the boating, the hiking, all the outdoors types of sports and the like are all part of that plan. Sand Island is very central to that theme as well. So we're pretty excited about the opportunities there to build on and meet that outdoor need, especially in this time of COVID. And the COVID numbers, if you've been tracking that, are trending downward, but they're not downward enough so that we're really struggling to keep our businesses going here potentially. And with all the nice weather we've had, there's been some interest in getting the splash pads back open, and also drinking fountains for all the people that are not only for themselves, but they're the lots of dogs you see on the waterfront, and the animals too. Finding that water source has been kind of difficult. The governor's orders essentially prohibited, highly discouraged drinking fountains to be back on. So we're tracking that. The splash pad is ready to be turned back on, and our public works folks have been in and serviced it, and it's just literally a flip of the switch. So on top of that, there's the COVID layer. Then there's also the city has a policy that about turning the splash park on, and I think it's May, unless the weather gets nicer, and then we talk about that and turn it back on. So we did have some favorable weather, so we'd really like to get people out back to normal to the extent we can, and maybe get in front of this issue that the council's okay to get it turned on as soon as it complies with the governor's orders. Might be a good recommendation. So
Yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer. If
Yeah.
the governor allows it,
Yeah.
governor's orders, I think,
we don't be, I don't want to be the one getting.
yeah.
getting
So
back to normal.
what happened in the past is, for Councilor Chilton and Councilor Berkeley is, I think we decided on and we've already had it. I think the first, when the weather started getting into the 80s, that we would turn that on. So, and, I don't know that this is really normal 80s. So John's right, correct. It's usually like May, unless we had a significant heat wave, which this wasn't too bad. I mean, you're able to play in it pretty nicely. So, so John, you just want direction from council is what I heard you say. So I'll just do a head nod. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
One of the things that I wanted to comment on is where I work, the drinking fountains have been changed to it's absolutely filled container. So no drinking fountains unless you have a container to put in to a machine that will fill the container to the fullest, pull the container out, and you've got your water. One, it saves water. Two, it's COVID friendly. I mean, it's kind of the wave of the future in a sense. So I work at Meadows and Timberline, and both of those areas have those kinds of. You have to bring your own container to drink water. That's basically it. Or they do have containers that they give out in the cafeteria or whatever. But anyway, that's I just thought I'd add that. Safer way.
all right. Then
Not as any action item, just as a heads up.
we can certainly look into changing the fountains to have a fill station. I know they're really popular.
Yeah.
So, and in closing, I just wanted to extend the Officer Heartless Life-Saving Award. It was really a nice act by the Fire and Rescue District today, and Kathy's 20 years of service and all the good work that she does. And a lot of your staff is working really hard right now to keep on top of all this, building and activity and planning, and there's a lot of work going on right now. But thanks across the board. So appreciate it.
All right, John. Good work. Keep up the good work. Okay, so John kind of touched on what I wanted to report on a little bit, was just and again, I want to follow up with what John had to say. Congratulations to Adam Heartless and Macy for their life-saving award. And it was good to see Chief Medina, and we have yet to meet, actually. That's our first face-to-face, so it was nice to see him and hopefully have a lunch date real soon. If I Were Mayor contestants, again, congratulations to all the participants. If you are just tuning in, I just want to reiterate, because I think it's important to. Our first place poster winner was Anna Richardson. Our second place poster was Sebastian Bean. Our first place essay was Addison Wells. Our second place essay was Olivia Fontes. And our first place digital presentation was Hayden Stram. And our second place digital presentation was Caitlin Wells. So the first place winner got $150 cash, and the second place got $50 cash. Not a bad little payday for them young students. So Jacob's report earlier was this shows how much the city has changed and is growing. And, there was one on there that wasn't on there. He did talk about future development on Pittsburgh as far as like a little strip, but the behind the hospital, the old Leahy, if you're familiar, the old dirt pile, that transformation that neighborhood is almost half built already in a matter of a little bit. The staff is working really hard, and I have to give a shout out to that building department. I know they get some flack for permitting, and sometimes it takes longer than people assume it should, and maybe they have maybe a little bit of a legitimate gripe, but I can tell you our building department, planning department are really just a good bunch of people. And if you have questions, make sure you're prepared. That's the biggest thing. Make sure you're prepared. Bring all the information. If you have questions, they're easy to talk to, and you can make an appointment. So I just want to give a shout out to those guys. They really do a lot. The waterfront forum earlier, the central waterfront, the whole waterfront, specifically the central, is it is a big project. There's a lot of information that is still to be determined. There's going to be all kinds of activity and stuff to learn about. That is what I know. I don't have the answers, and but I know I won't. For myself, I will listen to every angle and view everything with diligence and make sure I thoroughly vet it. So that was a good meeting, though. Just looking at our whole waterfront, what I can say about that is no matter what, we have passionate people in our community and at our city that see that whole entire 50 acres. Okay. No matter which way you were going with it, see that 50 acres as shouldn't be used for a cooling pond, or the 39. It's 39 acre. Shouldn't be. So that says something in itself right there. So let's don't fight amongst each other. Let's listen to each other and try to get through this, is what I can say. And if you truly want to help, my phone's always on. And I do listen. So with that, I think that's all I have to report tonight. So we'll go with Council President Morton.
Oh, thanks.
Yep.
With that, I'd like to acknowledge and give a big thank you to Kathy Surstadt. And she's a very dedicated friend of the parks. She represents the Lions Club, which does so much for our parks. And they've donated the exercise track, and they provide the maintenance on it at McCormick Park. And one of the things that I would like to acknowledge Kathy for is the benches. So she is giving benches to the city from their proceeds that they get from their fundraising. And she says there's an unlimited supply of benches as long as the Lions Club is around. And so that's very interesting. That her most recent donated benches can be found, one at McCormick Park by the bridge over Melton Creek, and up at Nob Hill Nature Park as well. So I just wanted to acknowledge her efforts keeping our parks efficient and friendly. Thank you, Kathy. I'd also like to congratulate Brandon Sundin for being appointed to the Parks Commission. Brandon's efforts in the city are almost unmatched by individuals who research history, and that's his passion. He researched all the names that are located on the War Memorial Plaza. He has done so much for the city, so much time and so much effort Brandon has provided. I would also like to reiterate about an action item that I would like the council to consider. And this is this was a recommendation, a unanimous recommendation from the Parks Commission to research options for obtaining the 6+ acres adjacent to the Botanical Nature Park. So we would, it's my job as liaison to report that and bring that forward to the council. So I would like you to consider it as an action item for the staff to, again, research options for obtaining the 6+ acres adjacent to the Botanic. That isn't, I didn't say go out and buy it. I didn't say it's to research it, to start the ball rolling if there is any kind of option of obtaining that property. So let me be very clear about that. Okay, that's my report. If
Okay,
anyone wants to comment on that, now would be a time. And if anyone wants to vote on it, I would ascertain a second on me motioning that I motion that the staff take action on researching obtaining obtaining of the property adjacent to the botanical gardens.
the only issue I have with this, Doug, is that it's sensitive as far as what was already discussed earlier today. And so it parallels earlier discussions. And I don't know how else to say that other than to say it like that right now.
I don't understand.
Isn't
Okay,
So,
asking to research ideas of ways that we could purchase that land?
The ways the staff, have the staff
Yeah.
research it, not us, the
Yeah.
staff.
And not buying anything yet. It's just
Exactly.
asking the staff to research ways that we could
Yeah.
obtain that land. I don't think that.
If
No.
if for example, if they research and they find out that that land could be donated to the city, what are we going to say no on that?
We have already directed somebody to do that, Doug, and that was in it, and we didn't make a decision, but we can direct staff to research things, and we did that. And you apparently maybe, I don't know, was he gone? Was he on the phone at that time? Was he on the phone?
Oh, when I had my emergency phone call.
So that would be why counselors, that's why I would be saying this, Doug, and I will. So you missed that portion, and so maybe that's what happened.
Okay.
Yes. Right.
Somebody
and that's why Matt was like, oh, okay. So that was kind of a little awkward, but we'll further the discussion. Okay.
I need to, because I need to get back to the Parks Commission about their recommendation. I mean, that puts me in a funny spot. I'm sorry, I got an emergency phone call and didn't hear that part. but I need to be updated on that part that I missed.
I'm not sure we need to make a formal motion and vote, but that we can, communicate that the idea is well received and worthy of further consideration by city staff and
I think
the
that's already
commission.
happening, is what I'm saying.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. That's what
Trying
I
to
was.
get at.
Mayor,
How
can I?
important it is happening.
Okay,
All
if
right.
it's already happening,
Yes.
I can bring that back, and all somebody has to tell me is how it's happening, okay? And I won't go forward with that to the Parks Commission until I know, I will just say to the Parks Commission that I reported it and the council has heard it and forwarded it to
Sounds good.
the staff. Okay.
Okay.
So as a liaison, that puts me in an awkward position. And the awkward position was brought about by myself because I got up and left the session and fielded a call that I needed to fill. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, Councilor Topaz, do you have anything to report tonight?
Oh, got a few things. The library operation is going quite well. Gretchen made it to 5 years. She also made it to one of the best employees of the year. The library is slowly opening up. You got to check kind of day by day with the library because the governor's rules, covert and all of that get mixed in and changed every day. There is something I brought up before I'd like to have done. I'd like a little placard made for Christine Sullivan. So when people come up and see her at the desk, there's a name that people we know that know who she is. I think just courtesy as a receptionist, we ought to have something like that. I'd like the staff to have a nameplate cut that sits on her desk there. That's it.
Okay. Councilor Chilton?
Well, I've had quite a week. This week has been busy with special sessions and tourism workshops and lots of curveballs. But I think it's went pretty well. And I have got a lot of feedback from community members regarding tourism stuff and a lot of just encouragement and ideas. And I'm really excited about all of the feedback that I've heard. So very excited about that. I also met with the police chief this week and we talked about changes with the police station, and they've got some trainings going on for taser trainings and just their continued growth in that department as far as trainings and staffing. And on that note, I wanted to just have a shout out to Officer Heartless. Amazing. Total appreciation for that. Just great things. And that says a lot about the type of police officers that we have in St. Helens. Very proud of St. Helens PD. And other things going on. I am going to be coaching T-ball. Woohoo! Very excited about that. So some other time taken up for that. And yeah, very excited about softball, baseball going on in the community. People out in the sunshine, although we are getting some rain to end this week, but it's needed, so that's good. Other than that, I didn't really have anything else going on. I just wanted to continue to encourage people to reach out to me. I've heard some concerns about the lagoon. I've heard some concerns about tourism and just some different things. And I like to hear all of the different perspectives and ideas and problem solving from community members. So just want to encourage that to continue to happen.
Okay. Councilor Berkeley.
Yeah, I too want to reflect. It's been a very full 2 weeks with the various council meetings and the various topics. And I don't want to say I'm overwhelmed by the amount of activity that is going on in our community. But I'm very excited by it. When my wife and I moved here 29 years ago, we always wondered what this community could become. And we used to think, what would this place look like in 20 years, 30 years? Well, it's almost 30 years, and it's we're at a point where we really are moving forward and making some crucial decisions. So I'm just excited and glad to be a part of it, and do encourage all residents to become informed, continue to be informed, and advocate for what they believe in, and present their points of view. Other than that, the Planning Commission met. I've lost in the fog of all the details of all these other efforts, what a lot of the specific stuff that we looked at, but I continue to be impressed by the work of our planning department, and the level of commitment that our planning commissioners have. They make some difficult decisions, and I'm proud. And so while I do not actively vote on their decisions, I am very impressed and by their dedication and the deliberation they give to the issues that are brought before them. This weekend, I see there are several spring cleanup events, including, I'm looking at the city calendar, a spring cleanup at 8 on Saturday, and St. Helens annual spring cleanup and beautification at 10 a.m. I know there's cleanup happening at the marina, Scappoose Bay Marina, not in the city, but still a beautiful place. So I hope that folks will come out for those events, or even just as you're walking through the parks or in the community, help to clean up and pick things up. We live in a beautiful community. It's walking with my wife and our new puppy, just some great conversations with people about this last week. Those are the kinds of days like today are the kinds of days that make the months of gray and drizzle and gloom worth going through to enjoy this beautiful weather. So nothing really profound, some reflections. Frankly, I am looking for a cutback in some of our meetings right now, but also agree that our experiment with in-person council meetings this week gave me some hope that we will be able to return to that in some limited form. And just to add my congratulations to the If I Were Mayor winners and contestants, and our recognition to our employees for their length of service, their great work, and once more for our officers for the recognition they received by the fire and rescue department. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Berkeley. So I'm going to add one thing before we adjourn, that, we had a comment earlier about the John Walsh.
I just was asked for a go back on meeting fatigue. The city council is going to need to have a meeting within the next week. And I was looking into the next week about either stacking on a meeting to like the budget committee potentially, or doing a meeting next Wednesday, and kind of see if the council's availability for her interest in having two separate meetings, or one longer meeting, perhaps in conjunction with the budget committee.
Either or for me. The one could be very, very little.
Yeah,
So-
the special meeting could be real short, so.
Yep, really short.
Yeah.
So it's not. So either or works for me. What about the rest of the council? As far
What
as
exactly the description of these meetings, John?
This would be in relation to purchase public property.
Okay,
and our budget committee,
Yeah, it could be just a tag on to the budget committee, kind of go out of the
Those
budget
are the
committee
two.
into that. And
Which is
I
on
support-
Tuesday at 6.
I support that. Let's get it done one time.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay. That's what I was asking for, that's all. Okay, so again, I started to go into, there was comments made prior to our council hearing last night. And there was some public comment earlier today that, this has been extremely exhausting also for this city council, as far as we do not know. We've never had to deal with this type of issue. We're working with our attorneys very diligently. What I can tell you is that we will put out an executive summary with redacted. We are going to get it first. We're going to be able to look at it. We are not out here trying to, our employees are our most valued. In my opinion, our employees are very valued. Okay. We want a safe, respectful work environment that everybody should feel welcome, wanted, and needed. Everyone. Doesn't matter who you are, the whole. So what I can tell you is that we are not going to release anything that would, in my opinion, hurt anybody. And we will definitely be clearing that. I can tell you that right now. This process has been going on. Grievances were made a long time ago. There was an action item way back when, and I think Councilor Topaz even seconded that council action item, which was to open an investigation into Councilor Topaz's conduct. And it has been going on for an extremely long time. Beyond this council's control. Okay. We are working with legal counsel. We are working with other personalities. So I want to again apologize to our staff that has felt as if nothing has been being done, that we are continuing to work on it. We do value you. We do hear you. We hear you. And so just please be patient. And I just wanted to reiterate that Brady saying we failed to do nothing. This is very unique and very complex. That's what I can tell you. And that's all I can tell you. If you watched the hearing yesterday, you probably learned more about it. And there will be more to learn about it. So
I have a question as you're talking about this for John. And John, will you be able to field the concerns from our staff members to us regarding the redacted kind of issues that we worked with? If there are any concerns from the staff, we certainly want you to hear it first, and then you to bring it to us. Is that a fair?
I think that's appropriate.
request?
I think that's appropriate. Yes, I do. Yep. Yes. In all fairness, and we're working with our attorneys too. We have multiple city attorneys on this, so I just wanted to make that statement for the entire council, for the public out there, and our staff, especially, knowing that we are doing things, and we hear you. We're getting to the bottom of it. So I just want to put that out there. I hate to end on that note, but that's what's going on in our world, and that's our reality. So with that, we are adjourned.